Anthony Albanese has promised an extra $100 million in military aid for Ukraine after visiting the war-ravaged country. Let's go live to political reporter Andrea Crothers, who's been following the Prime Minister. Andrea, this was an historic visit.
Pete, it sure was. Anthony Albanese making the first trip of an Australian Prime Minister to Ukraine, and one which, it goes without saying, he wishes was under better circumstances. The Prime Minister accepting an invitation from Volodymyr Zelensky to tour the war-ravaged country. The PM visited 3 towns outside the country's capital, demanding justice for Ukraine over the atrocities inflicted by the Kremlin.
It's devastating. What you know is that, this isn't a building, this is homes, and these are livelihoods and indeed lives that have been lost here in this town. And the fact that you had such a significant force, you can see the use of tanks, missiles, heavy artillery being used in a civilian area. It's just devastating.
The PM didn't turn up empty-handed, coming armed with an extra $100 million in support for Ukraine. That includes an extra 34 armoured vehicles, including 20 Bushmaster mobility vehicles. This takes Australia's support for Ukraine to $388 million. The President grateful, but warning more will be needed.
We're fighting a war against Russia. There will never be enough weapons against Russia. It depends not only on one country. Enough weapons is when you have fire superiority, enough to press on Russia for it to quit our territories. So no matter how much one country wants to help, the help of one country would not be enough. I'm thankful for the amount of weapons Australia provides us.
Now, Pete, you might be wondering why we're currently in Paris whilst the PM has been touring Ukraine. That's because this trip had to be kept under wraps for security reasons. The travelling media left in Paris as Mr Albanese departed here on Saturday afternoon. This caps off a week-long trip in Europe, the Prime Minister attending the NATO summit in Madrid before mending ties here with the French President Emmanuel Macron.